Hello, my name is John Lord, and I am your instructor for Accounting 1A. Welcome. I wanted to put together this video to welcome you to the class for this summer and to go over the Canvas setup for this class and also the syllabus. Before we do that, a little bit about my background. I have been teaching at De Anza for about a little over 3 years, and I teach accounting 1A, obviously. I've also taught 1B, and I teach auditing and I teach the fraud class here at De Anza. In addition to teaching at De Anza, I also teach at Stanford University, where I teach a class similar to this to the School of Management Science and Engineering and also the School of Medicine. I'm also the director of the CPA. CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant, CPA Applied Program at Golden Gate University. In addition, some of my teaching experience includes teaching for San Francisco State, San Jose State, and also UC Berkeley. Retired from the state system about 5 years ago and continue to teach at De Anza and some of the other schools I mentioned. I have been teaching folks how to pass the CPA exam. CPA exam is a four-part exam that includes some of the principles, although at an introductory level, that we'll be talking about in this class. And I've been doing that for over 30 years. And then I also worked for the federal government for 26 years. Some of my activities teaching and working for the federal government have overlapped. So, a little bit about my background. What I want to do is show you the way Canvas is organized and show you how you should sort of be going through the class here. Now, I'm going to start with the syllabus, which you can see down here under our syllabus module. And I have this in student view, so you can sort of see how it'll look to you as well. And so as we look at the syllabus, okay, you can see my information, including the office hour and the Zoom link. Since this is a purely online class, I can come to campus at a request on a request basis, but I will have official office hours from 10 to 11:30 via Zoom, or we could do it a different time via Zoom, or I am available to come down to campus. I live in Hayward, but I go to the South Bay a couple times a week. So if that's convenient, we can do that as well. You can see my telephone number. That's my cell phone. If you reach out to me and call me, leave me a message, or of course, if I answer, we can just talk. Or if you text me at that number, please identify the class, your name, and so forth. Sometimes I'll just get a text, when's the test? And I can't respond to something like that. I'm sure you these days you've seen these text messages that are very sort of funny that they don't say, hi, I'm so and so or anything, and hey, I'll meet you there. And it turns out that it's, a bogus text message. So, make sure you identify yourself, the class, and so forth, and then I'll be able to respond. Or if you leave a message, give me your information, I can call you back. Okay. The email is my De Anza email, and I'll be providing that in Canvas because I see it's not here on my syllabus, so I will give you that in Canvas. This is an online class only. This is a introductory class to accounting, and you're going to hear some of the comments that I'm going to make in the early chapters and whatnot, but it is introductory. So it is very much focused on getting you to first understand some of the very basic aspects of financial accounting. Okay. I'll let you go ahead and take a look at the outcomes and learning objectives and so forth on your own. You can see the class material here. You can see the textbook. We use the 29th edition of the Warren textbook, and you're going to be reaching out to Cengage to get that book, and I'm going to show you how to get the information for this particular class through Cengage. But this gives you the different options as you can get the textbook, and you do need to get the See Now version 2, because that's where you're going to be able to access the homework I've set up for this class. Now, grading policy, okay, most of our points will come from two examinations, a midterm and a final. I'll show you the dates there on those in a couple minutes. We are going to have a pre-recorded guest speaker. Now, that isn't available yet. My guest speaker is going to be coming to Stanford in July, and I will record that meeting at that time. If you would like to come to that live, you can. I would need you to reach out to me so I know that you're coming. But you can come to that live and we can arrange that. But I will be providing a recording for you to view. So that is, stay tuned. I'll be giving you that here fairly shortly. Homework, about 20%. I'm going to show you the homework in Cengage here in a couple seconds. And then I will offer extra credit. Typically, what I do is require a couple more pages on that guest speaker write-up, and I will award you up to 10 points of extra credit if you would like to get a hold of that extra credit. Note that you cannot use the extra credit to make up missed assignments. So it's not like you can not do one of the exams, let's say, and then try to make up 10 points so that that wouldn't take you very far. But if you miss an assignment, then you are not eligible for extra credit. You can see the grading structure is pretty straightforward. Most of my students, to be honest with you, live up here. Where students start to fall down in some of these lower grades is they just don't do some of the assignments. So if you attempt the assignments, your chances of getting a pretty nice grade in this class are pretty good. If you say don't do the guest speaker or you miss one of the exams. Guys, the exam dates are in red here. They'll be posted on Canvas and so forth. And so there's no reason to miss an exam. Now, if you miss an exam, you get a 0. Also, don't cheat. And I don't mind if you try AI to help you to organize your thoughts on the guest speaker. I will be providing a rubric, and you need to write your response to that rubric. You need to respond to the rubric questions, and I'll be giving you those here pretty shortly once we actually had the recording for the guest speaker available. But be careful with AI. I had the experience now where students are going to AI and they're just throwing the AI version of the perceived to be the guest speaker write-up. And I see things like the same exact write-up coming from more than one student. And it's obvious it's an AI generated thing. I've seen this one called Reflections on the Guest Speaker in John Lord's class. And then it talks about that John Lord said this and John Lord said that during the meeting, and I'm not the speaker. So be careful. AI can be helpful. Uh, the different, softwares that leverage off of AI can be helpful, but do not fall into the trap of just taking 2 seconds to have AI produce something and then turn around and just flip that back to me. You're going to suffer. And that has happened here recently. So be careful with that. Important information and leaks, and links. I'll let you take a look at some of those. And then our schedule. Pretty brisk schedule here for Accounting 1A in the summer. You can see the exam dates, okay? And the way I do the exams, they open on the Monday of the week indicated here, and then they close on that Sunday of that week. So it's open the entire week. And then what you do is you pick a day within that week, and I give you 3 hours to work 30 multiple choice questions inside of Canvas. Plenty of time to do very well on this exam. There's no reason to cheat. There's no reason to try to get somebody else to take this exam for you. If you watch the lectures that I have in Canvas for you, and then you do the practice midterms that I have available for you and practice final exam that I have available for you, you will do well in this class. There's no reason to cheat. No reason to shortcut, no reason to try to rush through the material. Follow the schedule, watch the videos, watch the practice midterms, practice with the practice midterms that I go through with you on the videos, and you will do well in this class. And then, of course, make sure you turn in that guest speaker paper. Homework, and I'm going to show you how to access the homework here in a second. I'm not terribly critical on how I grade homework, but let's go ahead and let's just take a look at syllabus, excuse me, Canvas. You can see here the welcome video, and if you're seeing me, you found that. You can see the office hour Zoom link, okay? And then you can see the syllabus that I just went through with you. And then you can see this boarding pass here. Okay, this is how you will access the homework. Okay, so you open that, and let's see if I can find it here a little easier. I think this is it right here. Okay, you would follow that link, but since I have it on my tablet, I'll just go ahead and hopefully open it here. Okay, and what you will do is you will follow this link, and that's how you will register for the class through Cengage. Okay, Cengage is the book provider, and you follow this, and then you will have a 2 week trial period, which I guess they're telling us is going to expire on 7/6. If you're not sure if you're going to be able to stay in the class, I recommend you take advantage of that 2 week trial period. If you know, after that 2 week trial period expires and you're, set with where your progress is in the class, then you will need to acquire the book. And you saw some of the prices and options on the syllabus that I had shown you a moment ago. Okay. And there is the student help number and the support center and so forth. If you start to run into difficulties, you can do that. Now, I'm not going to click here. You will, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and open Cengage on my machine here. And so you can see probably more than is necessary here, but let me find my Cengage link. Okay. Okay. And that's my email that I'll be providing you. I will put that, and I always get this error message for some reason, but we don't panic. Okay, and then go ahead and sign in. I'm sure there's an answer as to why that's happening to me, but because I thought I did sign in. Okay, but let me go ahead and see if I can go to my dashboard here. Okay, there we go. And I'll go to my courses. Okay, and you'll be registering for summer 1A. Okay, you'll open that one. And in there, you'll get into the class. Sometimes it feels like the dream where you're running and you can't get to the end of the area you're trying to go. Okay, but here we go. Here's the assignments. Okay. And you're going to see, yeah, there's a lot of assignments in here, right? Okay. In fact, there are assignments in here that go beyond the chapters that are covered in this class. Only do the homework for the chapters that are assigned for this class that we saw in the syllabus. Okay, so that's essentially chapters this way. Chapters 1 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chapters 1 through 8. Don't worry about other homework that you see here. These are related to 1B. And as you move on to 1B, some of this stuff would be relevant, but it is not relevant at this time. Now, when you look at the due dates, it's available now. Okay, when you look at these due dates, obviously they extend beyond the end of the quarter here. I'm not critical as to, hey, you have to have the homework for chapter 1 by this date, chapter 2 by that date. I don't do that. I simply want you to go in and get some extra practice with the material by going in and doing some of these homework, and you saw the points associated with that. So don't worry about trying to nail every single thing, and don't worry if the Cengage software marks you wrong or something. This is for extra batting practice, extra help for you, and I'm sort of leading you down that path by awarding you some points in homework for that. Okay. The best way to be prepared for this class, okay, for every single um, chapter, there is the chapter slides, okay, which you should go ahead and get the slides, okay. And then there are lectures for each of the slides, okay, for each of the chapters. So your best bet is to get the slides, maybe print them or have them available on your tablet and mark them up with comments and so forth that I make as we go through, and then practice with the practice midterms. Okay, now I'm just going to open this chapter one for you, not open it, but show it to you here in Canvas real quick. That always takes a little second to open up. But you can see I have multiple choice questions, and then of course I've highlighted the answers for you, and I go through these with you on the lectures as well. This is the best way to practice for the actual exams, okay? Because the real exams will be very, very similar to this. Sometimes I'll have a fifth choice E, never more than five choice questions, multiple choice questions, no more than five choices on any one. And then you'll have 30 questions on your actual exam. That's the best way to prepare for this class. And then that Cengage material I was showing you a minute ago is extra batting practice for you, okay, in preparing for the exams. Now, in addition, as we head to the exams, get closer to the exams, there are more comprehensive practice exams in here that you can see. And I also have some lectures where I walk through those practice exams with you that are more comprehensive. So instead of just having questions for chapter one, instead of just having questions for chapter two, they will have questions for all the chapters covered as indicated on the syllabus for that particular exam. Okay, so those practice exams for midterm one would have informations from chapters 1 through 4, for example. So the approach here is, look, we have the lecture, I'm showing you some things, I'm talking about different things. Sometimes it's a little difficult to, comprehend that right away the first time, but then you get the practice exam for the chapter, and then we have the comprehensive practice exam. So by the time you're taking the exam, okay, now you will take the exam right here in Canvas. Okay, now right now you'll look and you'll see, hey, there's no exams here, or I guess I have the previous term's exams here. I'll be updating these with the summer 25 material, but that's where you'll take the exams. Okay, you'll open that, and it won't open for you now because it was closed for the summer, of course, last year. But this year, we'll have it available in a similar manner. You take the questions here, you've practiced, you've got yourself ready to go, you will be successful on the exams. Okay, so you can see again my contact information. Okay, I will be providing you my email. Why don't I do that right now as we speak here? So my Deanza email is, oh, okay, hello. It's early. Okay. Here's my email right here, guys. Okay. I don't know why I didn't see it that last time. It's right there. I was wondering, how did I not give my email? There it is. Okay. So you can go ahead and email me, text me, call me with questions, see me in the office hour, try to set up an appointment time if you need to outside of this time to have a office hour type visit. Um, yeah, so I'm available for you to help you through this material, and that's how we'll be communicating. Okay. All right, guys. Good luck with the course, and I'll look forward to working with you as we proceed through the summer.